Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Follow the Dogi. I'm Daisy. I'm a certified yoga instructor. I'm going to be guiding you through some Dogi tricks today. A lot of times we'll do some exercises together and some stretches, through some different postures and everything. But today I wanted to talk to you about something that a lot of people have been asking me about, which is how I teach Waffles how to do these tricks and how to participate with me. So, for those of you who don't know, who haven't been here, haven't been asking how we do these things, you might be wondering why we want to teach our dogs yoga tricks. I want to make sure you can see her. There she is. She's taking her little nappy boo. So you might be wondering why we want to teach our dogs yoga tricks or tricks that pair well with yoga. And there's the obvious aspect of it's fun for us humans to include our animals in our yoga practice. It makes us more likely to have a more consistent practice. I know that's true for me. I am not someone who just naturally enjoys exercise, but the well-being of my body is super important to me. So I'm a very active person. I just typically enjoy those activities to be either outdoors, playing with my animal, both, and teaching Waffles to practice asana with me was a game changer as far as the consistency of exercise. When any other exercise that I enjoy is outside, and I live in the Pacific Northwest, where we have lots and lots of rain. I'm on the coast, so I have lots of wind. And so it's important to be able to find something that you enjoy so that you can keep your body moving, so that you can be consistently practicing movement. So there is that aspect for the human on a selfish level, why we might want to teach our animals these tricks. Another thing, though, is that learning these behaviors is so beneficial for our pets, for our dogs. Our dogs specifically, I can speak to. I have, I've got a dog. I grew up with dogs. But it's so beneficial for them to be practicing these behaviors with us because they get to learn things that allow them to find environmental cues in your body language. So think about this. Think about how a dog's native language, most animals' native language, is not anything vocal. Okay, they use their vocal cords when in distress and when trying to communicate very specific things. Yes, honey, your sweet potato is up there and we are going to do tricks. We're going to show our friends in just a minute. But that's not their primary mode of communication. An animal's primary mode of communication is body language, and that's so true for dogs. So if we can teach them using how to respond to different movements and postures that we're making with our body, then they get to have this bonding experience with us where they're essentially having a conversation. They're saying, I see what you're saying, and this is my response. Like, this is what I get to respond back. It's the same thing as teaching a child conversation points, like when you're in school and you're learning how to socialize, and you learn your pleases and thank yous, and when someone does this, you say thank you. And so it's the same sort of thing. And as adults, you know that when you say thank you to someone, it's not because you have to. It's because, number one, that's polite. Everyone likes to be appreciated, and our dogs can offer that to us by responding to our body language, our environmental cues that we create with our body. And number two, it makes you feel good. When you don't offer that appreciation to someone, either if it's intentional, it gives you an ooky feeling inside, right? And then you kind of carry that. And if it's unintentional, you don't get the positive reinforcement of seeing someone smile or seeing their whole aura just kind of feel a little lighter. You just see their body language relax a little bit. You just see this, even if they don't wear it in a smile, you see this joy, the joy of appreciation sink into their body. And that is rewarding to the person saying thank you. So having this back and forth is so, so rewarding for a social species, and dogs are social species. There's a lot of debate about whether or not they're pack animals, and I'm in team they are not pack animals. The research shows that they are not, but there is no debate. They are social animals. They do depend on social interaction in order to thrive, just like humans do. So having that back and forth and being able to develop this sort of communication styles completely through body language is such an amazing outlet for them. On top of that, they're also going to be building focus, building confidence, all the things that go with building skills. So without further ado, I want to show you a few tricks that you can teach your dog. If you have a specific request, go ahead and put it in the comments. If it's something that I do frequently with Waffles, I can show you how to teach your dog that trick. If it's not something that is really in my repertoire, I will be completely transparent and let you know that it might be better to seek someone who specializes in dog training rather than animal assisted yoga. But I'll always give it a go. I'll just make sure I let you know ahead of time if it's something that we do. Until I get any requests in the comments, I'm just going to show you some of the things that we use most regularly. Okay, so Waffles, are you ready to do some tricks? Come give me a kiss. You want to do some tricks? Yeah, and get your sweet potato? Come. Yeah. Oh, I care only about my sweet potato. She really only cares about her sweet potato. It's in paper towel right now. I'll use this paper towel a couple more times to cook her next couple sweet potatoes. Excuse me. Excuse me. I do have a pocket in these pans, but sweet potato tends to stain. Yeah, you can clean that up. No, clean that up. Good girl. There you go. So since sweet potato tends to stain, I'm going to go ahead and leave them on the counter here and grab just a little bit at a time. So the first trick that I want to show you is stretch. Good girl. Now back up. Wait on your bed first. That's right. That is a stretch. All right. So this one is going to be easier to teach than you think if you are one of the people that, like most people, I think, that when your dog does that big stretch, you say, "Ooh, big stretch." Your dog already has an association with the word stretch and that cue. So what I recommend is going ahead and using that to your advantage, right? So use the cue to catalyze the action since it's a word that they're already familiar with and they already have somewhat of an association. Stand. All right, so when your dog's in a stand, you're going to hold a treat in your hand and lure them down and forward. All right, sometimes they'll just sort of walk and follow you like that. When you're not focused on your dog, it's more likely to happen. So we're going to go down and forward, stretch. Oh, good girl. And release it before their bum hits the ground. All right. And this one, it is important to have a cue with it. Stretch. Oh, good girl. Stand. Good job. Because when you do your big stretch, which, looks like downward dog, your hands are going to be on the ground. You're not going to be able to lure them when you're in the initial stages of creating that association. So you need the cue as a bridge. All right, go lay down. Nope. Go lay down and wait. Honey, what did I say? Okay, fine. That's close enough. Stay. So you do need that cue as a bridge. You need to be able to have some kind of direction for the behavior that you've been working on to reach for when you get in that downward dog posture, okay? So we're now assuming from this point, we're working forward from when your dog does no stretch. That first step of luring your dog with the treat, that's going to be what you do over and over until your dog can do it without the lure. Waffle, stand. Nope, back up. Thank you. Stretch. Nope. See, now this is a great example because if you noticed the tone that I was using before when I was luring her, it was very different than what I just said. The tone that I just used was very sharp and simple, the same exact tone I use when I tell her to sit. So tones are very important. If you want your dog to not care about tones, make sure when you're doing that initial lure, you say the cue in a variety of voices, tonalities, and connotations. All right, stand, stand, stretch, stretch. Honey, I'm not luring. Stretch. See, she's looking for a lure because that's the behavior we just practiced. Go, go. Can you give me a stretch? Yes, good girl. So now when your dog can practice without a lure, then we're ready to add in the next step. You want to practice without a lure. Like if your dog can do it 3 to 5 times in a row, you're fucking solid. Sorry, Waffles, fluffing solid. All right, so I'm gonna put this last little piece. That was a crumb. I'm gonna put this last little piece in my mouth so that I can spit it because again, my hands are gonna be busy. All right, Waffles, go over here, please. Myself a little bit of movement in my hands first. It's still early. My body is still waking up a little bit. Ready? Stand and stretch. So whatever tone that you use when you're teaching the behavior, lay down. We're going to do another trick next. I said down. Thank you, puppy. So whatever tone you use when you teach the behavior, that's what you want to use consistently through the journey. If you're wanting immediate results, I would just pick one tone that's easiest for you to be consistent with. And if you care more about your dog's consistency than your own, go ahead and take the extra time to teach it in multiple tonalities. All right, I don't see any requests yet, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next trick that we do pretty much every day, and that is pause up. I do have a couple videos out that you may have seen on social media that teach you how to teach this trick to your dog, but just in case you haven't seen them, I am going to go ahead and teach you right here, right now. So we are again going to be working with a lure. Pause up, I always recommend teaching in a low lunge because you have the most control over your body and theirs. You get to create a barrier with your body while still having full control over your upper body, your hands. You've got a lot of control of your movement. All right, Waffles, go back. Honey, stand and back. Thank you. Thank you. Stay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get in a low lunge. So go ahead and bring one foot forward. Make sure that your back knee is on the ground. We want to make sure that we're starting in a low lunge, that we are not up off the ground when we're initially teaching this trick because we want the most stability. Focus is not on our body. And you can see, wait. Oh my gosh. Okay, you can see when I get into that posture, that was a really great example because Waffles clearly saw me saying something, me saying with my body, I need your paws up here. And she followed through. It was just like that back and forth communication that we were talking about in the beginning and why this is so rewarding to our animals. All right, Waffles, back up, back to bed. Back in bed. Thank you. Good girl. That's fine. All right, so we are going to be in a low lunge. We want to make sure our back knee is on the ground. Press into that top foot. That's going to give you more stability as well as engaging your glutes. I can't not treat her because I am holding a treat and she is guessing the correct behavior. Well, she's not guessing. This is a cue. And as much as I'm trying to teach you guys. All right, back. Thank you. Okay. So when you are luring your dog into a paws up, you can bring the treat over your leg. They might just do it right away, in which case, give them a lot of really enthusiastic praise. But if they don't do it right away, Waffles, back. Back. Yes, good girl. If they don't do it right away, what they're going to end up doing is stopping right here and being like, I can't do anything. I can't do anything. So you'll keep holding on to the treat until they do whatever they can to move forward. And the only thing they can do to move forward is to climb over you or go around you. Going around you isn't going to work because Waffles, back. Back. Good girl. Now wait, because if they try to go around you, okay, so say I'm holding the treat here and she tries to go around, right? Then I'm going to stop her and I'm still holding the treat here and then let her figure it out. Good girl. Pause up. Because she knows the behaviors. I don't want to confuse her by telling her around and then not rewarding her because I'm trying to demonstrate a point for you guys. All right, and big jump. Good girl. And there is the other benefit because there are also certain behaviors and certain we could call them partner postures, partner poses, or we could call them asana games. I prefer asana games because our dog isn't usually going to be in a steady posture. They're usually going to be interacting with their body, like you saw right there, where she puts her paws up and then she jumps over. Another great thing about that is it does give you the opportunity to teach your dog to jump. You want to encourage them to let their booty slide out to the side and kind of go around you when they jump, which is what will come naturally if they jump. Yes, she's going to naturally want to jump off to the side because that's a really big hurdle to jump over with no momentum. So when they do go off to the side, you do want to encourage that. That's a really great safety feature to have built into your dog. Now, you can also take that to another level. You can teach them to jump over your body. All right. Or you could take it to a different level. You could teach them to balance on your body. I'm not going to teach balance today because I forgot to grab my overshirt that protects my back. And you don't want to be interacting with your animal, encouraging them to interact with you in any way that is going to cause nail on skin contact. There's lots of yucky germs underneath your nails, and our animals have their nails on the ground, embedded in dirt and grime all day. So you can only imagine how many germs are under their nails. So we don't want scratches. Scratches aren't fun anyway. We don't really want to put ourselves in a position to be hurt, but we really don't want to put ourselves in a position to get like an infected scratch or something. So always make sure that any part of your skin that is going to be in contact with your animal while you're interacting is covered. And that will protect you from scratches. So we won't be showing you balance today. If you would like to see us teach you balance, please put it in the comments, either while you're watching this live, or if you are watching the replay of this, just drop that comment in there and I will teach you next week how to teach your dog to balance. But I do need to know that that's something that you guys are interested in, because I do have some pre-recorded videos already showing you how to do that. So instead, I'm going to teach you how to take it to the next level and teach them to jump. So Waffles, come here. All right. So from here, we are going to lure them over our leg. But when we do it, we want to straighten our legs so that the height that they're jumping over gets much lower. And as we straighten our leg, it pushes their center of gravity towards the bottom, towards the front of our mat. And that's going to help encourage them to jump to the side. It's going to be a very natural thing. All right. So For you to get the most out of this, Waffles, leave it. Good girl. For you to get the most out of this, bring your arms over your head. This is going to engage your gluteus medius, good girl, and your gluteus minimus, which are your hip abduction muscles, which helps you to maintain your balance when you're kind of teetering side to side. All right, Walls, come around this way. No, around this way. Thank you. Pause. All right, so just like I said, arms up to if you want a more challenging exercise. And then we're going to tell our dog, you can either throw the treats and have them chase it, or you can guide them. What's going to work for your dog is something you are going to know, not me. All right, ready, Waffles? Jump. Good girl. And then immediately treat your dog. Waffles, can you come over here, please? Good girl. Now, anything you do on one side, you always want to do on the other. Jump. Good girl. Yes, Mama's going to get your treat right now. So again, we're going to bring one foot forward. Make sure that back knee is planted flat against the ground. Press into the top of your back foot to create a little bit more stability. You can create a little bit of movement here if that feels right in your body. You can lift your arms over you before your dog even joins you if you want even more of a challenge for your stability. Pause. Good girl. Oh, that's so nice. All right, come over here. Good girl. Pause and jump. Good girl. Now you can see I don't always remember to straighten my leg anymore because Waffles does already have that really strong habit of jumping around to the side when she's not warmed up yet. Now, if she is warmed up and we've been exercising all day, oftentimes she will do the full jump over top, but you want to make sure that you give your dog the opportunity to make that choice. And in order to make the choice, they have to be aware that the choice is there. In order for them to be aware of that, you have to teach them. How we teach them is by straightening our leg into that sort of half split. You don't have to straighten it all the way. Waffles, come over here. So if this is not comfortable for you, I know that was not comfortable for me when I first started. You can just straighten it as much as you can, because notice that when you go from this lunging shape and you straighten it any little bit, your knee still drops. Your animal is still going to feel that little bit of gravity sliding that way, which is still going to drive them to jump around your leg instead of over it. Now, does anyone have any last minute questions or requests before we sign off for the day? All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you enjoyed today's live class. And if you did, please make sure that you like this post, share it with a friend, comment, of course, if you can, and absolutely make sure you're subscribed. We are here every week for a free live animal-assisted yoga class. So if you want to learn more about doing yoga and practicing asana with your dog, or using them as inspiration through your daily life and practice, please make sure that you're following us. We have so much more to share with you. We will see you next week for our next free live animal-assisted yoga class. Bye. Yep, you can have the rest. All done.